Welcome back. Thanks for coming back. We're having a really good conversation with best-selling author Dr. Ian Smith about his new book, Eat Your Age, and some new and old medical trends that are topping, but just a little bit more about this book. Available in January of 2025, and you really are trying to hone in on helping people understand
as we age,
what you should and sometimes should stop eating at certain points.
But it's beyond eating. It's also about what are the 7 physical fitness tests you need to perform in order to see where you are. What are the best exercises for your particular age? How you exercise in your 30s, maybe not so good in your 50s and 60s, but also a 30-day customized meal plan that's focusing on the top nutrients that you need for your decade of life. So I'm hoping that people will be able to make these small changes and really improve not just the longevity of their life, but also the quality,
of it, because that is so important. I want to keep climbing Stone Mountain, but these knees have got to stop popping. So we got to adjust, right?
Adjust.
But I also want to just kind of pull some things out of the fishbowl, if you would. I want to start with this question, and this is a big one, right? Well, I want to hear your take on those prescription medications that's prescribed for diabetes, but people are actually calling them weight loss drugs now. And that's just because that's the side effect. They're not weight loss drugs.
Thank you. Listen, not enough conversation has been held about the real purpose. They're called GLP-1 agonists. That's the class. It mimics a certain protein in the body. So it's an agonist, and it binds to a receptor, and it produces its effects.
So it's supposed to basically reduce your response and how your body processes sugar, right?
So how these drugs typically work, and we know the names, right, the big brand names, but how they work is that they do 3 things. One, they slow the speed at which your stomach empties food. So when you eat, some digestion occurs in your stomach, but most of it occurs in your intestines, which is below your stomach. And if you can slow down the rate at which your stomach releases the food, then you feel full longer.
Right.
So you feel, I'm not hungry because my
you hear people taking these, oh, I'm not even hungry, and then they're losing the weight, and then their friends are like, oh, I want some, I want some, I want to try the weight loss pill. Like, no, that's not what this is.
Exactly. The other thing it does is suppresses your appetite. So it's an appetite suppressant, and it works. It works in the brain center of satiety and says to you, I'm not hungry anymore. Now, here's the key. People don't talk about the side effects of these drugs. There are lots of side effects with these drugs, number one. Number two, even with these drugs, you still have to change how you live.
You can't just stop chewing, start chewing on the pill and be like, oh, look at me.
That's right.
I'm so fine now.
You still have to eat better. You still have to exercise better. If you don't and you stop taking these medications, that weight is going to come back and then some. And the last thing I want to say about these particular drugs is that people have to understand that when you are taking these drugs, they're meant for diabetes, type 2 diabetes, but they do have a side effect of weight loss. It's really just giving you a low-calorie diet. Think about it. These medications are making you think that you're full, so you're eating less, which means you're eating less calories, and so you're really eating a low-calorie diet.
Right.
That's it. That's the trick.
So just go do a real low-calorie diet and get it together.
Without the side effects and the cost.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about this one here. Should you eat more to speed up your metabolism? Is that still the case? And is it for every, because I started eating more. And I feel like the metabolism's still like.
Well, people understand what more means, right? It's not eating more calories or more volume. It's eating more frequently. So the idea is when you eat, because your body has to digest that food, you increase your metabolism. It doesn't mean you sit down and eat 2,000 calories in one meal. It's better to spread it out over a period of time, and therefore not only will you have less insulin spikes, okay, but you also have a metabolism increased over a period of time. So it's more frequency, not more volume.
And it's grazing on good stuff, right?
Good stuff, absolutely.
That's why I brought all those apples that I was going to keep eating. Gotcha. Is there such a thing? I know this term drives you crazy. Big boned. You said that there's a myth around people who describe themselves as big boned.
Or someone say big boned.
Big boned. I wasn't going to say it.
No, I'll
Dr.
say
Smith said it was not me. But we all know big boned.
Listen. The only people in the world who have big bones are people like Shaquille O'Neal, who's 7'2", or Yao Ming, who's 7'4", whatever. Yes, tall people have larger sized bones. The average people, 90% of Americans in the world,
you put all our bones out on the table.
You can't tell the difference.
They're all going to be the same size.
Unless you're, of small stature. But no such thing as big bones. But what we do with our bones makes the difference. And that's why I wrote Eat Your Age, because we don't take care of our bones and we don't take care of what's at the food at our table.
Gotcha. So just because there's no big bone, unless you're super duper tall.
That's exactly
And that still doesn't mean you can eat everything under the sun, right?
Exactly.
Which one is the most effective diet in your opinion? Keto, intermittent fasting, or the Mediterranean diet?
Wow. Now, this is a really good question. And I will say this. They all are good for different reasons.
Okay.
Keto is very effective in the short term. Okay. Problem with keto, you can't eat that way for the rest of your life.
Right.
I mean, it's a very, in many ways, it's a very unhealthy way of eating. So it's great for short-term weight loss, not good for long-term. Intermittent fasting is wonderful. Intermittent fasting is a way not only to burn calories, but also to control your blood sugar levels, also to help with cognition. A lot of positive side effects in intermittent fasting, but also you can use that in other programs. What was the last one?
The last one was Mediterranean diet.
Well, Mediterranean diet has been around for 1,000 years.
Yes, it did.
Right?
Literally. Yeah.
Literally. Very healthy, very good. Not necessarily a weight loss diet, more of a better eating type of program. So you will lose weight, but it's not like the other programs.
It seems to be for a little bit more sustainable long-term.
Yes, it is, absolutely.
Right? One more before we wrap up here. Which one is most effective? Weightlifting or Pilates?
Oh my goodness, that's easy. Weightlifting.
Yeah.
Now I know people love Pilates. I'm not against Pilates. But let me tell you something. My one thing is that particularly women, as women age, they need to lift more weights. They need resistance training.
Who are you telling? I can't get this thing to stop, but you're right.
But because you need muscle tone for your knees, your bones, for your stability, for strength. And we tend to think that men should lift weights only. False. And we think that cardio is the best. Cardio and resistance training. Got
it. All right. I told you this was going to be chock full of information. Listen, Dr. Ian's not going anywhere. You know he's written more than 24 books, right? While you know a lot of those books are about health and wellness, he also has a fiction series, one he's trying to flip into a TV series. More on this after the break. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I really want to thank you for season 3 of Portia. It's because of loyal viewers like you that we keep getting to share this daily dose of positivity all across the country. So just a reminder, I still need you to like, comment, and subscribe. And go ahead and tell your friends. You can catch us now in Orlando, in San Francisco, in Atlanta, and all across the country on Fox Soul. Tell your friends. We'll see you soon on Portia.